Hello, I'm John Brown and I'm welcoming you to my website. Today, the key economic question is whether the recession is over or not. In other words, are we headed for slow recovery, as many economists think, or a double dip, as other economists think? In my personal opinion, I think it's the second, that we're headed for a second downturn. Indeed, a much more powerful downturn than the one we've seen already. And the reasons I say this are basically five. First of all, the deleveraging that we've had, massive deleveraging, is still continuing, particularly in real estate, as we know, in homes and things like that. But just about to come, of course, is the massive deleveraging in commercial real estate. Secondly, the governments around the world, and particularly in the United States, are talking about removing their stimulus packages, gradually running them down in various ways. And the third thing is that interest rates throughout the rest of the world and the United States are set to go up rather than down. So that's going to increase pressures on investment and decrease people's spending. Fourthly, taxes are likely to go up. In fact, they've been forecast to go up by the president. And that again decreases the incentive for consumers to spend. So they'll be saving more, not spending it. In fact, they'll have less money to save and to spend. So they'll be definitely decreasing consumer demand. And the fifth thing, and perhaps the most important of all, because this affects consumers and businesses throughout the country, and indeed throughout the world, is uncertainty. There's tremendous uncertainty coming from the top. Governments are not issuing clear ideas of what they plan to do, and they're very unclear about what they're doing domestically within their economies regarding tax and regarding spending and so on. So if you put all these five factors together, I'm sorry to say the conclusion is that there's going to be recession. And sadly, because we're so highly leveraged still, and because of such uncertainty, and because taxes are going up, I think it's going to be a much deeper recession than the first wave. In other words, today, things are appearing calm. It's like being in the eye of the hurricane, and we're waiting for the next wave of the hurricane. And like in a hurricane, the first wave loosens tree roots with the force of the wind. Then you have the great calm of the eye of the storm, and then the second wave of the hurricane comes to push those trees over. So I regret that it's a very pessimistic outlook for the near future in the economy, which is a bigger and deeper recession. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.